3, 2, 1.
Yeah, fuck that, man. Let's get the whiskey, let's get the rum.
Right.
Let's fucking roll it, mate. Roll in.
Sweet, we're rolling. Welcome, Never, to the
How's it
first.
going, mate?
Yeah, all good, thank you, man. Thank you for having us here. Second episode. Just have to say, straight up, the studio's looking mad, mate. Looking
You,
so
mate.
good. It's nice to see it in the flesh.
Nice
again.
one. Yeah, it's taken a bit of time to get it like I said, I've moved here recently.
Sweet.
And to set the space up's real nice. Yeah, man.
It looks
so
good,
glad you like the look of it. Do you know what I mean?
The synths, they get me going a little bit as well.
Right.
have you
Yeah.
had these long? Or?
So this one, basically, I said my old place. I used to have a pair of decks.
Yeah.
I had to sell them because my neighbour was just not about it at all.
Them
Yeah, so luckily I have like minimal neighbours here. So,
Nice.
but anyway, I sold those off. I bought this instead. Spraying had it for like what 6 months or
Sick,
something.
mate.
Yeah, and then
Have-
this one, this is the Moog. I had a car crash. Someone went into the back of me.
Bloody hell.
Little, I had a bit of whiplash.
You alright?
And then
You alright?
then I got a synth.
Oh,
Yeah,
sick.
that's
Oh,
good.
a bit
Yeah,
of
do you know what I mean?
custom
Yeah,
for
yeah, a
you.
little bit of
I see.
yeah. So
Mm.
yeah, got a synth of
I'm
it.
really thinking about investing in some synths.
Mate,
You recommend?
definitely. Yeah, it's just like I don't know, like say Serum for example
Yeah,
is like a
yeah.
big VST that everyone uses.
Exactly.
Like you get a bit like you're clicking away at everything anyway, making tunes. You're
Yeah.
always clicking like so having something that's outboard that you can just jump on and mess around with.
Sweet.
Yeah, just the creativity that like just jamming
comes
on
from
it.
that. Do you
Yeah.
do you jam on it? Do you just make a beat, jam?
That's it, man. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'll just make some nice drums and I'll just
That's it.
say, I don't know, feel like in the mood. Like they're quite
Yeah.
different as well. Like this one's like mono. It's like a lot more analog sounding, I guess, in a way. And that one's a bit more, I don't know, it's a bit more like pads and nice.
Yeah.
like.
Do you play keys?
I used to. I'm not not really,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. That's
I know
fine,
some
that's
like say for example Dimstar,
Yeah.
who's from Cheltenham as well. Shout out to Dimstar.
Shout out.
He's like absolutely sick at like jamming on the keys. He's ridiculous,
Yes.
mate. So whenever I'm watching him, I don't know where I
Yeah.
can say that I
Do you
can play him.
remember
Do you know
that
what I mean?
little scene from School of Rock? They got on the keys.
Yeah, mate, school. That's a bad boy
Big-
film,
big
mate. That's an
film.
inspiration film right there, man.
So
Hold
you
tight,
started the
chap, lad.
musical journey. Definitely.
Trust me, yeah.
Yeah, sick,
Done
man.
the school band days, done all
Mm.
that.
Do you play any like instruments?
So I used to have a really nice guitar
Sick,
that I need to find because my mate's got it and I haven't seen it for years. Um,
It's on eBay, lad.
yeah, so I used to play drums as well. Like I said, I used to be in bands and all that
Yeah.
sort of thing. So yeah, mate, like a little bit, but nowadays it's just programming
Tunage.
drum and
Shit.
bass. so
like
yeah,
That's musical as it gets for me, mate.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
a little bit
I
MIDI
like
and that, mate.
it. Trust me.
That's all we do
Bish
now.
bash bosh.
Yeah.
Sick. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking about investing in a little bit of like hardware because I really dislike messing around on Serum. Like, I'm not like I don't know a lot about sound design, but it's just difficult to.
Yeah.
It's long-winded. I find to
Yeah.
actually like just sit and manipulate like things.
There's a lot to go at
Especially-
as well with these ones, mate. It's a little bit more limited,
Yeah.
and but the sound is their character. Like for example, like Moog, this one, like it sounds like a Moog, like has that
Warm, like
like analog sound. So
Yeah.
it has that. You might not have as many like technical features, but then you got all the effects and that anyway.
Cool.
You can
Yeah,
download,
you
get all the
just
plugins.
process
There's
it,
so much
like-
stuff, and sometimes it's better to learn something, like really well, get to know something really well, and then. Then you can expand on that, or maybe you don't need
That's
to. You
it,
think,
that's it.
yeah. So it's just like have whatever you've got, work with it.
Did it take you a while to get to grips with them?
With the hardware,
Yeah.
no more than a synth, like VST, like
Yeah.
it synthesize that. It's quite like. Even it looks a bit crazy, like
Yeah,
a
it
cockpit
looks
and like
fucking
a
cool, mate. Spaceship,
like a
yeah.
spaceship, yeah, man. But really and truly, it's all like simple, just something that makes a sound. You then do a little bit of this and that, and
bug stand,
yeah. So it doesn't take that long, mate. There's certain holdbacks with it, whereas you think, oh, I wish I could just go and run into
Yeah.
that little bit of the program on
But
like
what-
whatever that's very quick and easy.
I assume you record it into audio, or is it?
Yeah, it's all always you sort of have it's all into audio in the end. But that in itself's good
Exactly.
because
You don't
sometimes you get a bit light on MIDI and just have loads of MIDI tracks. It depends how you do it, I guess.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's-
Do you find that you don't go back, like if you just had the ability to manipulate things because it's all recorded on MIDI,
Yeah.
you can go back in.
it's
and-
another thing to think, oh, that's
Yeah,
not right.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
If you recorded that and it's like, well, that was 2 days ago, I've
Yeah.
definitely haven't got that sound anymore. Because it's very hard to actually you can save the sounds, but with all the other processing, it's like you can't really get. It's just you can't get that exact sound that you're gonna. I don't think anyway. So yeah, it's just that's kind of part of it. So if it doesn't sound quite right, then you have to live with it.
Sort it out, yeah.
So yeah,
that's not. I feel like that would be a bit of a blessing for a lot of people, because that's personally just it's so like annoying to keep going back in and thinking something's not right, and really you probably just stop in that creative like flow.
100%. Yeah, because that's what makes you like, you know, people say I've listened to this mix down too many times, whatever. It's because like, it's because you there's too much to go. You're tweaking everything. You forget. You lose like whole like sort of space of the sound. So yeah, man, I've definitely made tunes like this. I made a tune like one day, like just rolling it out, making that was the emphasis of the tune. Yeah. And yeah, they just come in handy when you think, I want to sound like that, I want to have that sound in this tune. It might not have any, they're wicked, mate. I definitely recommend, getting a little collection.
How much is it you back spending?
This one, this was B stock, so obviously like the company sold it to me like second hand, so to speak. And when it came, I was like, they said like you will, if you're not happy with it, you can send it back. Right, but I got it and I was like, it's perfect. I couldn't see anything wrong with it. Obviously, that one was 900, I think. Okay. This one was 1300. But you can get them second hand. They hold their value as well, but you can get some deals, and also there's loads of other Korg like synths that start at like 300, 400. There's so much out there. Like
I like it, man.
But yeah, these two sort of do the jobs that I need for drum and bass. That's what I've set.
Do you've got like you've got like quite well. You some of your recent tunes have like that unique, like higher pitch, like kind of wobbly sound. Is that from these synths or? Yeah,
a little bit. This one, there's a tune I call Fight, which is almost like a jump up kind of style tune. Cool. And it's got like a really high pitch, like what people sort of thinking that was off this, like almost like a whistle. Yeah. And yeah, it does make some pretty mad sounds, but it's got a nice. Just the filters on it, mate. Just mad little like all the sparkly get up the resonance and that, mate. Yeah, I love it. Some days I just wake up and think I have a synth day and just mong out on it, man. Do you know what I mean? Do you find it more productive to have, like you just mentioned, you have a synth day? Do you break it up like that? Like I'll have like a synth day, a sampling day, for instance, or do you just fucking get in there, make a tune? Like I always think I like to have the idea. I like to think that I'm really organised. I think I'll do that. I'll make loads of samples today, and I'll do it one day, and then I'll never do it again. Like it's just random. Some days I'll be like, it's just a case of me going into a project, seeing if I can make it into a tune. If I can't, then I might record some breaks. I've been like making my own break beats, using them in other projects, and that sort of moving, realising if you've made a sound, you might as well use it in another tune and then manipulate it in a different way. It's a really good way to like get a signature sound, is to like use things you've already done. If because nothing wrong with using presets, nothing wrong with using drum loops, nothing wrong. It's how you incorporate that. But if obviously you're just going to a pack of samples and you're not really doing that much to it, it's not going to sound like anything different. It might not be bad. No, I get you. But yeah, so having them signature sounds that you make and then just running them through, it's like a little theme. And people probably don't. It's probably just more for my like benefit, but maybe in the long run, absolutely. You know what I mean? That's the reason I'm here, mate. I want you. That's it. But yeah, mate. So no, more or less, it's just a case that I'm producing today what needs to be done, and more or less, it's just slugging out trying to finish a tune that I'm sick of hearing. Nice, but you master as well, don't you? That's it. Yeah, so do the mastering is like a little side business, which is nice because I hear loads of like different stuff, also it's always generally electronic. I mean, I do a bit of like acoustic stuff and mates from school. That's probably quite a nice change. It's wicked. Definitely, mate. It's and then people like sort of my like peers. So I say I used to do like techno and breakbeats. I have a lot of other like contacts. I say like not contacts, friends that I've made through it. That to hear their music, they ask me to master it for them, and I know they're at level. They're like real good at producing. It's such a pleasure to I don't tell them that it took me 10 minutes because their music's it's so easy to master a well produced tune. Is drums hard then? Drum and bass, you mean? Like again, it just depends who's saying the track, to be honest, mate. And like, I think sometimes people might expect their tunes just going to be made like 100 times better, but really, it's just polishing. It's what it's all in the mix down, 100%. I know a lot of drum and bass. This is a bit of a. I don't know if it's probably not a secret, but a lot of people don't master. They make their tracks at a level that's sort of, obviously there's this loudness war. It's sort of a standard level that people want tracks to be. There's a lot of big producers that don't master at all. You'd be surprised.
Really, it's that tight. That is right. I did not know that.
It's just because of the way they produced it. The way they produced it is they just don't need to master it. It's loud enough. Wow. It sounds, So
I didn't know that. So
it's something to think about. Yeah. Is if you've got the loudness there and you think you don't need to master it, you might not need to. But it depends. Yeah, it just depends how you do it.
That can definitely change how you start a track. If you know that. Definitely.
It's a good starting point.
Yeah. Interesting.
But the mastering it's nice, mate. Like I said, it's nice just to sort of stay in touch with old friends, see what they're doing musically. Like my friend Head Chef, who's living in Australia, I did a track for him just the other day.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to hear how they're progressing. Frixes as well. Shout out to Frixes. These are all people I don't really run with anymore in terms of drum and bass because they do different genres. But yeah.
Did you say you were in Australia?
No. So that Head Chef, he moved to Australia. Man. He used to live in Oxford. He was one of the first people to book me. So they had that thing called Deep Cover. It's still going now. Shout out to Simon as well.
Where's that based?
That's in Oxford. Yeah, Deep Cover. There's a club called The Cellar.
Cool.
Have you ever been to it?
I've never been there. Is that one that got shut down or?
I think it is shut down now.
Essentially, I know Deep Cover. I used to mix with a guy called George at uni, and he's a sick 140 DJ. And runs with a Deep Cover.
What was his alias? Is it Skate? Yeah.
It's on the tip of my tongue. It's in my tongue. Begins Shrike.
Shrike, yeah.
You know Shrike?
I think I probably have met him, but I don't. I know him. I definitely know him. I definitely know he's part of that.
Cool, man.
Yeah, mate. They're Deep Cover 6, so they're the first people to properly book me. Yeah. I remember they booked a hotel, and I said I think I was like it was the first. I wanted to go somewhere make sure it was nice and chill. I met these guys and they were all mad party heads. They were pouring like drinks out to people in the crowd, absolutely nuts. But the loveliest people, man, the soundest people. And I said, I want to come back to the after party. Yeah. And the guy said, "Don't worry." Rainer said, "Don't worry, mate. Just come straight back. Don't worry about the hotel." That. I felt guilty that they spent this money. Yeah. I felt a bit of a diva, all the hotel, all this. I don't nowadays. I don't even. I said, "No, I'll figure it out."
Yeah.
But man. So they were just such good hosts that I was just
that big up Deep Cover, man.
Yeah, hold tight Deep Cover all day.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah.
You look like you got a little something on the screen now. It's intriguing me, mate.
Yeah, man. So this track Higher that people may have heard or may have not have heard, I don't know, but that self-released.
Can confirm.
Yeah.
Banger.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, it's on Spotify. So that plug that thing. Yeah. So Higher's out now. Just self-released it, and then had a label contact me. I don't know if I can say the label. I'm going to mention them anyway, but I'll leave. Yeah. I don't think it'll matter, but I'll leave it for surprise anyway if they want to have that. So this is the VIP. I started last night. I normally hate making VIPs, but actually I had a bit of fun making this. So I'll drop it. These monitors, man.
What's your cooking background, man?
Cooking background. So my dad's, he's just the Don Dada, man. Yeah. He made spaghetti bolognese and stuff like that back in the day. Just sick at it. So I learned a lot from him. My mum as well. She said but my dad, he was always
he knows what he's doing.
He knew what he's doing properly, and so he taught me everything. And I used to work in Five Guys,
Sick.
which was sick.
Yeah.
Like, not that sick, but it was like, it was
you
decent.
still get to cook and
Mate, the ingredients in Five Guys and that was decent food, man. So it was nice to like work with that and see how it all runs. And I worked in a little kitchen as well, nothing like fancy at all. But it's funny working with chefs, like they're
the different breeds.
Man, they're just hilarious. They get so angry and it's just mate, they're constantly apologising for getting angry and like. But yeah, man, I love cooking.
I think food and cooking has a particular relationship with music, man. Like especially as a chef. Any chef I've ever met, I've never worked as a chef, but I've worked as like waiters, and all the kitchen staff fucking smash tunes. And whatever it is, it's either going to be like some heavy metal, like some filthy jumper, or like
man, it's the energy, mate. It's just it's like the physical, like cooking as well. Actually, like chopping up. I remember, Lord Kana.
Yeah, I know.
One of my favourite things that stuck with me. He said that he's big on his food and he's big on meditation. And he said that one of the best sort of forms of meditation is to do something like cookery, where you're thinking about the food, you're cutting the ingredients, whatever, and it's very like it realigns you. It sounds a bit
present. No,
it does.
I'm a big fan of meditation myself.
Yeah, you know it is. Like if you've done a little session of meditation, it's doing that cooking. If you feel a bit down, it's the same as like tidying your house.
You're present. You're in
doing
the zone.
It's more than just being like to sitting there and sort of getting into your mind, which is a thing in itself. But to like, cooking is like. And once Lord Kyron said that, stuck with me, mate. Do you know what I mean? I was like, cooking is absolute like therapy, mate.
Bloody talented bloke as well.
Oh, mate, Lord Kyron's the man. Yeah. I love all that like UK like. It's not even hip hop, is it? Really, it's like just good UK music, mate. Good music, but
that's sick, man.
But yeah, so that's that's the higher VIP. So pretty much wrapped that one up. That one, this is all like operator, which is just Synth Ableton, like for those sounds like. Where is it?
I'm actually.
I mean,
out of nowhere, that is
just on operator. So
really. I've heard. Did you? Yeah, I've heard of operator. Before,
that's just Ableton's built. Because what do you produce on?
I produce on Logic. I was just about to say I'm gonna make the jump to Ableton. I think. Logic just doesn't do what I want it to do. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Doesn't flow like, and I watch a lot of tutorials, and this setup, like having the rack at the bottom, it just makes so much sense to be able to adjust everything at once.
It's very like intuitive. The thing is, I always think like it depends what you know best. Like I've used Logic before. I've used pretty much Cubase. Because I used to produce like I used to be in a metal band, so I used to like actually that's how I got into music, was to recording my bands.
Similar to me, mate.
Yeah, and it's very like it's a way in, and some people are just happy being in a band and just going around gigging. I wasn't really into the gigging so much. I wanted to make music.
You wanted to make.
I wanted to produce it.
Listenable.
And and that's what got me into the synths as well. I was into the synths way before I was into electronic music. Before I even knew what drum and bass was, probably. I was using synths in like progressive metal. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Stuff like that.
And Shikari vibe, mate.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, there's like new metal, like Linkin Park, everything like that. There was all. You don't realise it when you're in a band that no one really thinks about that. And I wanted to learn all about the techie side of it.
I like it.
And then found out drum and bass, and that was it then. Yeah, that changed it, mate. That changed it. Yeah, that's it then.
The inner junglist, mate.
Yeah. But then I stopped producing for I must have stopped producing for quite a while. That's when I got back, because when I said I lived in Birmingham, when I moved to Birmingham, just started like making like sort of techno 130 breakbeat stuff on those like circular draw.
I've listened to some of your really early Spotify stuff, and it was a lot of breakbeat stuff.
Yeah, some weird stuff as well in there.
Yeah, but it's really it suits the like jungle vibe. Those heavy breaks in there. Like,
it's always
it's like even though you're not necessarily using the heavy jungle stuff now, like you can see that you've gone through like into drum and bass, because it's always been there before it.
That's it, yeah, and it's never been. Not apart from people like D-Side. Got to shout out my man D-Side, because he's the guy who got me into drum and bass. Cool. He was the guy who actually put a label on what it was.
You did a couple of tracks for him, didn't you?
Yeah, we got a track. I'll show you when we got coming out the end of this month. This depending on when this podcast comes out. This tune's coming out 20th of September. But yeah, D-Side got me into it in 2012, which is when he was getting me on his label, because I used to do artwork for Sub 8 Records. It's not it's not that big a label, but it's something that we've always done. Do you know what I mean? It's like
numbers mean nothing.
Yeah, that's exactly, and that's what I love about it, mate. It's like it was nothing. We just do it for the love of it. Yeah. We don't like we put our efforts into making tunes and DJing, and the label is just something that we have there, and it's a nice.
So you a kind of component of some of it then?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah, so D-Size was 2012. He hit me up about the artwork. So I did all that way back, and then we started linking up probably like 3 or 4 years ago now. And he said, look, I want you running. It was right when I started making drum and bass properly. Because I've done the techno, I've done Birmingham, done all that. And I was like, we're making drum and bass now. And it was perfect time. And he said, 50-50, let's just run it together. So now it's my label as much as it is his. But he's a bit older than me. He's got me into it. He sent me a bag of tunes for doing the artwork. So I've got all of that. That's sort of my history of drum and bass is through him, really. So I owe a lot to Dave, really. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it was so sick to have the guy that I've got me into drum and bass to make a tune. And we're real good mates. We are mates, but I hate the term lick ass. You know what I mean? I don't look up to anyone. I think I don't think I'm better than anyone. But he's one of these guys that I've got to say.
Your path,
100%, mate. 100%. Like the style of clothes that I wear, the trainers that I wear on my feet, and he's just I have an older brother almost. He'll say himself to me, so I'm the one that's sort of he plays he's a DJ, he's a DJ's DJ, do you know what I mean? He's one of them guys, but he does produce, he makes sick tunes, but he I don't know, he doesn't finish them a lot, and he's happy what he does. Yeah, so having his ear on a tune, to have his input, I mean, to be honest with you, mate, it was me and was, tweaking away, sweating away, mate, not no disrespect to him, but once we crafted the vibe, there's no point in coming back over to do the EQ there, because he'll tell me all that anyway. But he having his expert touch on it, man, is just yeah. So we've got hopefully get some more stuff coming. Should we run through some other bits as well?
100%.
Yeah, should we just roll?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
We've got the rum and ginger beer flowing.
Mate,
so
nice to bring that through. We've got through lamb spice rum, drinking nice on a Monday, mate. Any day.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, man. Cheers to that.
Cheers,
guys. Big up, nice to play. Have you heard of Naughty Little?
Yes.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Oh, sick. Because he's in Birmingham at the moment doing the same course that I did.
What course was that?
It was music. I can't remember it was music something, but I quit in the second year.
What uni? Okay.
Yeah, I just ended up.
I wanted to ask as well, with the mastering. I thought you must have had some kind of in-depth education for it. Was that? Would you feel like you would learn most at uni, or was it all? Can you do it at home?
No, to be honest, mastering,
not even mastering, just your
anything general.
Just
music.
Your in-depth knowledge of fucking production, mate.
I think it's probably it's the uni help definitely. That uni makes you think but no more than anyone that knows what they're talking about knows. Yeah. So I mean, if you really want to know how to make tunes, go and ask someone like Heist. You know, people that do the tuition. Go and ask the people that actually are making the music, because uni's all well and good, but however, you're going to learn a whole load of shit that you don't want to know, and you're paying a load of money for it, and it drives the enthusiasm out of you. You're living in I was living in Selly Oak in Birmingham. You're from Birmingham, right? Which part of Birmingham are you from?
I'm from Sutton, so
Sutton,
the opposite side.
Quite nice. It's quite
it's all right.
My mate Job's from Sutton way. So man, they I was living in just rubbish housing. It was just a bit of a rubbish time, mate. Uni, like,
it's not for everyone, and like, the fact that it's so expensive as well.
Yeah.
If you're there and not particularly like, especially for someone who's doing music, like that, it takes away that creativity, that artistry of it, because you're doing it in an institution, like you are.
Yeah.
As you say, learning things you don't need to learn, but like.
Yeah, it's like we were planning festivals that weren't like. It's just stuff like, if you want to. You got to take a whole load of knowledge to plan a festival. You can't just do like some little uni project. It's all stuff I thought there's no point in doing this. You're better off teaching us how to do one aspect. I don't know, just what didn't fit me.
Yeah.
But I value Birmingham so much. The time that I did spend there, sick. Like, I did so much.
Helped you to get where you are.
Yeah, it was literally what started like when I was doing Circular Jaw. Shout out to Wordner, like. He used to mix like disco, and he did a lot of stuff in like the gay community.
Yeah.
Like Nightingale and the Music 13 in Birmingham.
Sick.
And his like influence and stuff, and what doors it opens for like playing out.
Yeah.
Birmingham's sick, mate. Birmingham is such a sick city. I love it.
Like, hometown, innit?
Yeah,
hometown,
of course, mate.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause my old man's like from Birmingham, so I've got that bit of blood in me, but I'm a little bit biased that way. My mum's from Bristol, so I got it quite nice.
Yeah.
I got Bristol.
Oh, that's a nice little combo.
Yeah, man, that's why I live in Cheltenham. I live bang in the
Yeah.
middle, like we're saying. Do you know what I mean? I live bang in the middle of both of them. But yeah, man. Uni's just like, Nautica's loving it. Do you know what I mean? It's just I probably didn't make the most of it. Some people will. So
that's like from my perspective. I went to uni Exeter, dead scene. However, because it was such a small scene, I managed to have quite a big influence on it. I felt like quite involved in it.
Yeah.
I'll never use my degree. However, I don't think I would be into drum and bass without uni.
Exactly, and exactly what you're saying about having that like small community. Because Birmingham, to be fair, not so much now, but when I was in uni, I think I did a set. No, I played on the same night as Slater. Slater's fucking sick, mate.
I'm big fan.
I think he's probably like, out of everyone that, like, he is. I've got to say, I think he's my number one as people that have come through.
Up and coming,
I mean, like, as in he is now established as like he is gonna, you know what I mean? He is.
I love his how he infuses like instruments. Like he's like funky, mate.
I've seen him on a piano as well. He's like my mate Dim. He's like just having that extra knowledge of music. I'd say the best thing you could learn if you're like, this is a tip to anyone that's starting out, learn how to play some chords and learn how to do a bit of pianos and that. That is the best. Because like the theory stuff, like all the way that you draw the notes doesn't really matter. It's how you hear it, it's how you feel it. So when you're playing some nice chords, I can, if I knew what to hit, if I knew a little bit more, I know that I'd be able to. I'm speaking to myself here, because I should, practice what you preach. I need to get some more skills on it. To be fair, but that's definitely the most important thing. And like, even if you're making stuff that might sound like really like techie and might not have much, drum bass might not sound musical at all. It's all rhythmic. That's what it's meant to do. Still having that basis knowledge is crucial, I think. So. Yeah.
Anyone listening, write that.
Yeah.
Write that. Get it written down, because it's valuable involved.
Lots coming with Crams. I'm going to do some more stuff for Crams still. And Victor Audio all like linked up, so it's nice to have that little German, European, hotel Europe.
Yeah, man, that's sick. It's like bringing in a different way of life to it almost.
Yeah,
isn't it? Like out of the UK.
Yeah, I see him partying up in Germany, bro, and I want to go over there. It looks sweet.
So they jump up over those ends. And
mate, they get crazy in France and Belgium, all them places. They get wild, don't they? Mad techie with it.
Yeah, it's interesting to see as well. Like we obviously have this UK scene and whatever. Like obviously Bristol is quite like a hub for it and stuff, but they just have like a completely different scene. And what's popping over there isn't necessarily popping over here, and particularly over there, it's the fucking hard jump up. Like,
but it is this new like people get like jump up gets such a bad rap. I hate. I think Mr. Happy to me, Mr. Happy is an absolute fucking anthem. Don't tell me anything else. Do not tell me anything. I don't care if you've heard it too many times. You don't have to listen to it. I'm telling you now, that tune is an absolute DJ Hazard.
I commend you for saying that, because especially it's a Birmingham soundtrack in my head. I take it back to Rainbow.
Yeah, man.
18 years old. It hadn't developed this stigma to it, and you were like,
every
time
changed my life for sure, mate. Like, that just made me think like that is.
Yeah.
But people hate it, don't they? Because it's like it's all this meme stuff. Like Mackie G Tour is a banger. All these tunes. The only reason these tunes get this big, and it's because people love to hate what's popular. And Jump Up has so many levels. You get Jump Up like the old stuff, where it's like almost more jungle, gritty, like dirty basses, and it was drum and bass to the absolute core, I think. And like the new stuff, you get stuff like Annex, Cheltenham boys, like that are doing, and like similar and all them, man. They're doing like techie. It's mad technical, and just because it's maybe not to your like, I think a lot of people don't like the aggressiveness of Jump Up. When you're in a rave, I remember being in a rave like young, mate. When you start raving, Jump Up in Worcester. I see raves in Worcester, and you see someone. I see Shabbat, like not Shabbat, Stormin. Well, obviously all of them, but the Stormin, rest in peace. He's the man. I remember seeing him in Worcester, mate. And that Jump Up, you'd never dance like it, and it was so much energy, so much energy, mate.
100%.
All everything else that comes with it, like I love that scene.
That was my in to drum and bass, man.
Yes,
like, I remember, I think I caught up with. I remember having like an interest, like about 6 months after Dominator died, and I loved like I was like super fan of Dominator after he passed, and I was like,
again, recipes Dominator, man. He's like someone that took it and did it so well.
Sound, mate. Like, so sick,
I tell you, someone new got a shout at Sota.
Big
man, big man,
8-bit.
Yeah, I love that one. That's my favorite. That's on. Is that Pick a Mix?
Pick a Mix. Yeah.
That's probably when you said 8-bit. That's one of my favourite tunes.
Yeah, it's like.
Sota's the man. I'm not even following him. But you're getting followed. He's the man. So sick, mate. Drum and bass right now is just such a nice place. Like such a
good.
There's all the new stuff coming. Like Clips has come back, stuff like that.
Oh, mate.
You see that set?
Donna. I didn't watch it. I saw some of the like little. I think you might have sent me some cool little like really subtle edits on the video. And
yeah, do you see
Clips
that?
Is a bad man.
The Clips set.
I saw on the Thursdays.
Red Light. Red Light, aka
yeah, that's it, man.
That was news to me. Like,
it was sick because when I was doing the 130 bass stuff, he was red. Like, he's obviously still Red Light, but he was Red Light predominantly. And he was playing tunes that I was playing, and now he's Clips again. Like he's done the Clip stuff, like the old Clips and Die sets and all Clips and Die tunes and stuff, man.
It's probably quite a fucking healthy way to do it, isn't it? Once you get bored of one thing, flip that to the other.
I mean, I can't say that I'm probably definitely going to release a 130, 140 thing again.
Sick,
like Hi-Fo's killing it. I used to make tunes with Hi-Fo's doing the like stuff with Swamp and them, man, mate. But drum and bass right now is just
mate. It's good to hear some fucking positive.
That's all we bring, mate.
About drum and bass, man. Like, because if you can sit and read the Facebook group that shall not be named, and you can see like there's so much like
there's a lot of stuff.
shit, but really it's fucking popping, and it's the music for the people, man, and everyone who's really into it fucking loves it, and it like,
that's it, yeah. And I think that's almost plays to its not downfall, but like you say, these groups. The thing is, like, back to D-side, he used to say about the forums. So the forums are what we now call Facebook groups. You know what I mean? Where it's when people get together in these little groups and they think they've got a really powerful voice, and that's when people start trying to sort of almost dictate what's cool and what's not. That's why I don't get caught up in any of it. That's why you won't hear me say anything bad about anything. Yeah. I only talk positive on things because it's music. You can, if you don't like it, don't listen to it. Yeah. Simple as that. Yeah. I'm not going to spend time making like a me. I'll just make another tune that I like. I mean, I don't know. I'll go and find another tune. I'll go and listen to another release that I like. I'm not going to focus on what I don't want to listen to. This is the
soul of the podcast, mate. Just like, I fucking love this music so much, like, and
mate, because the thing is, I don't know, like, I probably in a way think, I wish I was doing this. Everyone always, if you're a musician, you always wish that you're on this label, you're doing this and that, or you're playing these sets, and it's very easy. But the best thing to do is just think, like, am I enjoying it? Am I enjoying what I'm doing? Literally. Am I liking what I'm around? Am I making music with people that
back to the loyal Kana meditation cooking thing, bro? If you're in this moment and you are genuinely loving what you're doing, that is the healthiest way.
It's all that matters, mate. 100%. It's all that matters. And like, you know, people always craving for raves and stuff, mate. I honestly, like, I've had some nice opportunities. I think there's people that probably done way bigger runs than I have. I've never done any big tour runs or any like mad loads. That's why like COVID's not really affected me, because I'm still mastering. I'm still doing my stuff. Like, I'm not missing the gigs.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, you will get if you put the work in, you'll get the opportunities and just make the most of them. Like that set, me and Nauticrowd, we didn't take that for granted. We were playing amongst, you know what I mean? Like, that's the only thing you can do is just enjoy it.
Big ups for that, man.
Yeah, mate, that's what it is. And loads of people don't. I think too many people nowadays want the quick. There's people that will blow to fame quick time, and it's sick. But
there's a fucking heavy fall after it.
Well, yeah. Mate, I played in New Zealand.
Did you? Sick.
It'd be 4 years ago.
Congratulations,
mate. That was mate, I've never been abroad in my life ever.
Really?
I didn't have a passport, and this guy hit me up on SoundCloud and said, Zach, Stature is his DJ alias. And he hit me up and said, mate, do you want to come and play in New Zealand? I said, anything. Yeah. If you can get me there,
I'll play.
Don't worry about it. Yeah. I was like, don't worry about anything. If you can get me there, I'm there.
Yeah.
And he did.
But that was 4 years ago.
Yeah, it's weird to think how long ago.
I was a fucking scene 4 years ago in New Zealand. Because obviously that's like a thing now, isn't it?
And I'll tell you what, because the scene is so small there, but they've got all the sound system. At the moment, that guy that put me, Zach, he's building a system. I've seen on this morning, he's putting together some units. So they've got this really nice grassroots. They love what we do, and they're like, they just have such a good stance. I mean, Alex Perez, I think, he's
moving out
He's
there.
moving to New Zealand, right? Am I not? Yeah.
I've definitely seen that. And
it is New Zealand, isn't it? And like, it makes perfect sense, because it's just they love it with more passion than I've seen anywhere. Yeah. Like, I was in this venue called Dark Room. It wasn't that big. Like, I was jet lagged. I was only there for a week. I'd never flown before. This flight was like 24 hours. And mate, I just took it like I just like got to do it. That must have been
exciting as fuck,
mate. It was sick, man. I remember my mate Mitch. He was like, "Oh, you're a bit worried about flying?" I was like, "No, I can't be, can I? Yeah. I'm not going. I'm not like I'm going to play. I'm worried about playing. I'm not worried about flying." Yeah. So that all just came in its stride, and I met some the respect and loyalty and people over there, man. I'll tell. If I've ever enough money, I'll be going over there. 100%. And
I've never been, but it's on the fucking list, mate, for sure, man.
It's incredible, mate. It's incredible. You ain't got to worry about the spiders like Australia. I mean, it is quite similar to our culture in a way, like, but just a bit more respect. Like I say, people just seem really like down to earth there, mate.
It's apparently beautiful as well, like incredibly beautiful.
Crazy, man.
Did you get to spend much time out there?
Yeah, so it was just 1 week, and the guy, funny enough, Eb, I made a track with Eb, and I went to like have dinner with his family, and his mum was from Birmingham. Yeah. So she was all like, she's like, oh, Birmingham's a bit rough, isn't it? I was like, well, I mean, no word. I guess that's probably would be. Yeah. Living up in the hills in New Zealand, it's rough. It's rough. But I was like, yeah, I guess, it's not. like anywhere in it. But
everyone has their areas.
Yeah, man, and yeah, I did spend a good amount of time out there and just met some sick people, mate. But yeah, like I say, that after I quit uni just after it, so I came back and I, like you say, we have this rise and fall. I came back and I had a downer, mate.
Big fall.
Because I was like, it's not that you think that it doesn't blow I didn't blow my ego personally. I didn't make me think that I'm better than anyone. But it's very like to be jets, flying off somewhere. It makes you
inflated.
It's just sick.
Yeah.
You wish you could do it every weekend.
It's a high, mate, isn't it?
You wish you could do it every weekend because you feel like you've all this sitting around making tunes is actually going. So it's nice. But then what comes with that is the fact that you got to take the fact that you might not be doing anything like that. Yeah. But then I did Vienna. I think the year after.
Sick.
Which was sick. Shout out to Stefan, that was insane as well. But mate, like like those opportunities come. Like that's my point being, you'll get if you put the work in, you'll get some sick opportunities, and then next week you might not have nothing, and you just have to take the good with the bad. I'll
tell you right here now, you'll get them opportunities.
Mate, I think I've been sitting a lot as well because like I've been a bit out of the game, like coming into drum and bass again, like from the other genre. I'm still finding my feet and still finding my sound in drum and bass. But I think I've got a good vision of what I want to put into it.
I love to hear it, man. Like,
big up, mate. Yeah. So it's just trying to like sort the releases now, put the work in, mate, because it's a lot. Like putting together an EP is tough, man.
Like, is that what you're doing at the moment?
I'm a bit bad for saying I'm gonna do something. I'm really bad for it. To be honest, it's a good thing I didn't bet on today. But like I'm just a bit. I always want to do lots, but it's sometimes like this stuff like this. Yeah, I can talk for days. But making tunes, sometimes you can't make tunes for days, and this is another thing. You get like them. You know how it is. You can't get inspired, and it's dead, and it's boring, and you want to quit.
That's it, man.
We're just going to play.
Mate, there's been I've been hooked on that because that's what you need to hear. Is like for myself, like I haven't got anywhere near where I think is like a break into the scene. You know what I mean? But the only thing that keeps me pushing with it is because I fucking genuinely love it. Like genuinely, mate. Like.
That's the only thing that will
to my core.
Yeah. That's the only thing that will get you to them places, though, mate. Like,
no, it's if I've had a shit session in the studio, and the next day I come back in, I'll be like, fucking hell, I'm just not in the mood for it, and I'll just listen to a tune, and I'll be like,
more time I come in here and just listen to to be honest, like I love drum and bass, but I listen to loads of like rap and hip hop. That's my that's pretty much what I listen to day to day. And I think if I listen to too much drum and bass and I start I don't know, it opens the idea of
feeling of music, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like it's like people say the best thing to do is listen to all sorts of genres, listen to everything, listen to like stuff that you maybe don't even like that much, because it makes you just try and analyse it and see what different genres do, and you can learn so much from stuff like classical music and jazz. The only thing about that song is, as much as I love to listen to it, I'm worse for it. It's like when you always pick out in your own tunes what you don't like, and that tune hasn't got enough low end.
Okay.
And whenever people drop it, and it does my head in.
It's really interesting that I didn't think that at all.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And this is a good point to make to anyone listening to producer. Yeah. It's like it's very easy to think that you've done something wrong, but you only. It's like if you're DJing and you make a little mistake, people might hear that and be like, "Oh, he's just mixing. He's just doing what he's." Do you know what I mean? I love hearing DJs that make.
Bad culprit for this, by the way.
A few clangs in that.
No, I just.
Oh, you mean as
clangs,
in being critical? You mean
when I
being
listen
critical?
to my own tunes, I don't play them out. I can't like them. You know what I mean? But yeah, you just far too critical of them. And
I tell you what, mate, my drive. The thing that you have to get balance of with that is, I want people to hear. If I've spent this long making a tune that I now hate it because I've listened to it so many times, I at least want someone to hear it.
Yeah.
Because I've spent this long trying to make it sound good. Then it surely must sound good to someone. Yeah. And that's what you have to think. It's like, I could just sit on this tune for ages and never do anything with it.
It's got to the finishing point, which is difficult enough in itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, getting it to there. And so it must have something, must be good. Like,
and
must
that
have liked
tune,
it.
Right before I started working with Sofa Sounds, my hard drive crashed. I lost everything. Everything. Like this, I had to restart.
Jesus Christ, man.
Everything. I don't just mean the project files. It all went. And
but did that hit hard?
Mate, it was fun. And I was I was going to the gym at the time. I was one of these guys who joins the gym at the start of the year. And I do it in December though, so like people weren't watching.
A bit cheaper as well.
Yeah, well, it's just people weren't worried about like everyone's you know, yes. But and I remember going to the gym and I was furious, mate. I was on them.
What? Where's my
getting my anger out? People are looking at me like he's this like angry skinny kid.
Mate, was listening to some fucking fat jump up as well.
And that was the last tune, and I had to, and that's the reason is I technically didn't finish it. And this is the thing is like you never really finish anything, but you have to. How long can you spend on one tune before? So how long can you wear like an item of clothing before I want a new t-shirt?
Before it gets recycled to the back, innit?
Yeah,
like,
sell it on Depop, whatever. Yeah. But people, it's like an art in that, and there's at the same time there's art in the mistakes. Like it's the same with DJing. When you hear someone do a little clang, I'm not a DJ. I am a but I'm not like I'm a producer. That's what I do, and I'm not the best DJ. But some of the big people aren't the best DJs. When you go to a rave and you hear a mix, it's different. It's not about their technical, but
it's about selection.
It's their knowledge, knowledge and
their incredible productions as well. Someone that, to be fair, I was just in my head. I was about to say Break, but he's a sick DJ as well. He's like this.
That's the thing. When I try and think about it, there's no one I can really point out and say that's a specifically bad DJ. Everyone. That's what I mean.
But I know it's exactly what you mean.
Yeah. And like there's some. I'm not really. I think DJ is sick, and there's some people really finesse it, and I don't think I've got my own take on it and my own style. But then people are probably doing way more technical things than I am, but it's not really about that. It's about whatever you enjoy doing. Yeah. Like if you like, I might mess around the reverb and the filters on the deck. Some people like doing 4 deck blends with fucking like 100. Whatever it is, man.
Did you get into this kind of stuff, DJing before producing or producing before DJing?
Weird. Well, it was definitely producing before, but as in terms of electronic music, what kind of got me back into it, I used to have a mate called Sam, and my mum bought me a controller like this one I got here. Yeah, she bought me a controller, and I didn't know how to use it for shit. I had no idea what to do. I didn't even really know what DJing was. You know, I'd not heard of DJ.
You didn't know.
I didn't know anything about it. And then I was you sort of get a grasp and go on the software and all that. And then this guy Sam, I watched him use my controller and I saw what he was doing. I was like, shit, that's DJing. Yeah. And then I was like, it was in a park and it was like night time. You know, we was chilling and we had this little Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, boy.
And I remember that night.
Bit of lag on
it sounds really corny, doesn't it? Like, just DJ in the park, man. The moonlight. It was sick. It was actually sick, man. It was sick. And I watched it and I was like, that's DJ, and that's what you have to do. Yeah. And then from there, and that's what then got me into we then started a label, and it was like what I saw from him. So big up Sam. But
big up Sam, man.
Yeah. So DJing definitely came after, but then I started producing. Then I got into the drum and bass again. So it's all coming up together, man. I'm still just crafting like honing my skills, I guess, and trying to get better at everything. So
Feel
yeah, you always got to think you can do better. Like
completely,
Can't
mate.
be.
You got to keep chasing. You got to keep looking forward.
Yeah.
Like,
that's like you can't ever get complacent, mate. I
Yeah.
never think like that tune's good enough.
Yeah.
And that's like it's a bit soul destroying. It sounds a bit
yeah.
depressing, but it's true. Like think no, I got to make one better now.
Yeah, yeah.
And like
That's
I might
it.
hear something that I made 3 years ago and think that's way better than what I'm doing.
Keeps you hungry.
Yeah, it's self doubt. You just have to manage it. Like you have to just deal with it. It's not like but I think so. What a lot of people do struggle with is doubting themselves.
Yeah.
Of like, that's why people want to have lessons. It's not to say they don't know what to do. It's just they want to have that reassurance and
And I'll definitely say that if you didn't have that, you wouldn't be able to keep going forward, because you didn't have that doubt. That is a fuel. That is what
definitely mate.
You're chasing. That if you settle, and if you don't have that, literally like you think some of the tunes you're making aren't good enough, and you settle for that, you're not going to make them better. So therefore, it's a fucking
100%.
It's a necessity.
Yeah, there's very few. I'm really bad at giving feedback.
But don't be sad about it.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I mean. It does drive me. It makes
Yeah.
me like. You're exactly right when you say you have to it's that doubt, and like it is self doubt more than anything. But even I to myself have any sort of doubt. If someone doubts me, I'm like, right, let's fucking
come on then.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
And so you just have to keep pushing.
Sick,
but because I'm really bad at giving feedback. If someone sends me, a lot of people want feedback on their music.
Would you like say it's a fucking mad tune all the time? Yeah.
No, it's like I'd say either that, or if it was really bad, then you have to say like, okay, mate, maybe you should.
Yeah. Did you feel bad about it in a way, or like?
I wouldn't rip him apart ever. I'd never. If someone sent me something, I'd never be like, that's shit, mate. You need to stop. Never. That's
Have
awful.
you ever thought that?
Nah, probably not
Yeah.
really. I think there's sometimes you think like you need to keep at it, but then
maybe you just appreciate the effort more than the.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever think that if you've actually sat down and made something. It's like I used to like make YouTube videos, and if you lads probably watch, you probably think this is rubbish. But like but it's the effort, and it's of course you think it's like good enough of some degree. But like I can say you need to EQ this, but without actually like going in and saying like. Not to be like, oh, you have to come and get a lesson, but like unless you want me to break it down completely, I can't tell you one little thing to make it better. Yeah. So I either tell you it's sick, or I'll tell you that one little thing, and then you got. I don't know. It is what it is, but I'm not very good at. People send me tunes all the time. I'm really bad for not getting back to them. Yeah. And they want feedback, but I can't. I've also said I don't want to start. I know some will charge for feedback, but I'm not going to charge someone to hear my opinion.
No, that's
that
it.
Seems
but
a bit.
People like. I know. I would like to hear your opinion, because like, I feel you get that like imposter syndrome almost, where I mean I've never had a lesson in it, so that whatever I've learned is through tutorials and my own interpretation of it. So sometimes it's nice to just like have, if I sat down with someone like yourself and you'd be like, right, because there is rules, like there is almost like tips that you can't know unless someone's told you.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing I've learned, because what you do is you learn all these rules. That's why I went to college and you learn all these rules. Yeah. And then you hear someone else tell you something completely different. And you hear like, people tell you to redline your drums because they'll sound bigger. Yeah. And there's all, but what you have to realise is it's all these rules and things that breaking the rules that come into this one massive bag, and then you decide what sounds good. Yeah. There's not really like you're right, and you have to learn it all, and it's just for experience. It's literally just for experience that people will tell you things like, right, you've got to set the EQ off here and it'll make no one wants to hear like all these different opinions. All they are opinions, really. It's just opinions because it's art. It's like someone saying that brushstroke's wrong. It's like you've EQ'd that wrong. Not really. That's what I wanted to do, but having more knowledge of that, and having more opinions, and having more people's input is bound to make you,
sick. So I think what I've just got from that is just saying it's a journey, and you have to keep going with this journey to fucking find, just develop knowledge, because you're only going to do it through keeping on. On the path,
and I learned through YouTube tutorials, and that's how. But then through the years of having so many different opinions, and that's why it is. I wish I was better at giving feedback, and like I said, I wish I had like the ability to actually sit down and just do that. But like, you have to just hear other people's opinions. So if someone doesn't like your song, I've got a really good friend, and very few people do it, and he'll tell me everything that's wrong with my tune. Yeah, and it's not that he's like He's not. He doesn't like it.
He's like, this is
He's
how
like,
you
no,
improve.
that bass is not. And he's telling me because he wants me to. He's thinking. He's a producer, and he's thinking exactly how I'm thinking. But he's just bold enough to tell me, and I'm always there like, all right, okay, mate, I'll think about that. But like more or less, he's always right, and I always like stump.
Even if you don't like do it on the track that he's told you to do it on, it's still
exactly
like
even if you don't agree with him in that moment. And that's the thing. Another thing, someone tells you something to change, it's then your decision to say no. Actually, I appreciate that opinion, but I'm not going to do that. And that's interesting. Is just going with what they said. It's equally like it makes you think about it more. So it is just it is experience is best. You just have to keep doing it. Simple as that.
Love that.
Simple as that.
I appreciate that, mate.
Getting deep on the production journeys,
but
man.
That's what it's about, mate. It's this.
Mate, it's the long game. Like I say, you get all these little things that pop up. You get these nice little deals and things that are really appealing. And they're sick. It's nice to do them, but
don't
let it overshadow. Don't let it overshadow what you're doing anyway. We just enjoy making music. But I'll show you this track with Nautica because this is really different. And that's all Nautica on the keys. I got a big all Nautica. Yeah, I got to say that. You get me on the synth, mate. That's all. A couple of notes, yeah? Bang it. Alright, man. Alright, screw it up. This is probably one of my favourite tunes that I've made recently because like it really got a lot of feeling. Like but yeah, man, like that's why it's sick to work with people like I say with that musical knowledge. He's Nautica's got a picture of him. He's got it on his Instagram somewhere. If you go and follow him, and he's you know what's that Sunday the show that Songs of Praise. You know, Songs of Praise. They had a magazine back in the day, and he's on the front. And he's like a picture of like him all dressed up in the all kitted out choir boy.
Notes. Fucking hell, mate.
And it's him, and he's proper young. And it's funny, but at the same time, that's sick, mate.
It's got that new musical background.
Yeah. And so when he comes here and just starts jamming out chords and stuff, mate, like it's always a pleasure. It's easy.
That's fucking mad, man.
And again, that one he went away. I finished the tune, but he had as much.
He had the vibe. It was how the vibe come to life.
I don't know what else. Actually, you said about imposter syndrome. Is that where you sort of worry that you're doing the same thing that?
It's where you feel that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing. It's hard to describe that. That was a really shit explanation of it. So you feel like an imposter even though you've probably done a similar route as everyone else.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean now you said it, and people can go away and Google what it means exactly, but I know what you're saying. And this is, because this is a tune that I'll just straight up say, like, it sounds like, what's that, by Skeptical. Oh, what's that new one?
Big fan. What, the new
the one that sounds like Jump, it's like what's it called, man?
Musket,
yeah.
Musket, mate. When that came out, me and Dave, I called Dave Uncle Musket because he played it non-stop. He just
fat tune.
It's sick. So this tune is definitely inspired by it. So I just go out there, rather than someone in some YouTube comment when it one day is out, they'll be like, "Oh, you copied the Musket." I'm like, "Well, I probably did, mate."
Yeah.
And I'll say it, but I didn't like. And Skeppy, if Skeppy was to come and, I mean, I don't think, but I'd be real. That I don't think I copied it. But when I heard it, I was like, that sounds like fucking that tune.
That happens
and I could have changed it, but I thought, I've not released it. But then,
come on then.
It's a good. I just want to get that out there. I've just. Let's get it out there now.
Disclaimer.
It's on the record now.
Yeah,
it's on the record. I don't know where it's coming. But it's one of them. It's got this mad corny sample off. Have you heard of Splice?
Of course, yeah. I use it regularly.
Yeah, man. I love.
You're a fan?
Oh, mate, Splice is sick.
Sick, innit?
If I wanted some corny vocal, I love all this shit, man. To it, and it perhaps I reckon when I first started it, I thought it sounded too much like Muscle, but now I think I probably
definitely its own sound. But I know what you mean. It's a poppy high note.
Because I've always thought if someone like copied me, I'd be gassed. I'd be like, fair play, mate. Appreciate it. That's like a compliment, isn't it? Yeah. That's what SPMC says. It has that bar about. I can't remember the exact bar, but it's like. You look at it. Yeah. People copy you, but you have to. Yeah.
Well, it's sampling, isn't it? Like it's the same idea. Like.
Mate,
we regurgitate and we use what we're recycling what's been used, mate. Like
exactly, like you say,
giving it more life. If it don't, it dies, bro.
It's like we said about Own Altered Black Culture. If I didn't say that tune sounds like that Skeptical tune because I obviously love that tune and obviously been inspired by it, it is what it is then. And yeah, like of course, like I don't know, people get a bit caught up in like, he's biting this guy and that guy's drum and bass, mate. Everyone's like. Yeah.
Sample culture.
Yeah, you literally can't think about Jungle. Like it's all breakbeats and the same samples because that's all they had. And they were using very limited. So it's I think to even talk about that sort of thing, like say for there's a big like sort of trend, I guess, but like the new Serum tune,
the one that picked Chop House, is it?
Chop House. Yeah. It sounds like the old Fisty. It's a Fisty tune. It's like a grime. It's like grime tune, isn't it?
But stick it on.
But then what it goes back to is I've probably got it on my iTunes, but it goes back to a sample in Fruity Loops. It's a patch in Fruity Loops, and I think Serum said, well, it doesn't really matter what he said, but he said that he like made a patch on a synth. He said he thought I wanted to make it sound like that. So regardless of. He made a sick tune. That tune, Chop House, is a banger. That vocal
goes off as well.
Mate, insane. Like of course, off, but then like the whole dance music culture is about.
And everyone just.
Yeah. So whether he made it again or whether he used a sample in Fruity Loops, it doesn't bother me, mate. It's a banger all the same. But the original. Oh, this is a remix my mate did. Sensei. It's just an FM shit.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just a simple. Yeah, it's quite a simple patch as it goes, isn't it?
It is. I mean, like, I need to think I'll probably need to make one of them.
Maybe like, the reason that people don't understand that it's not a fucking remake is because they don't understand the science of fucking sound. And
exactly, mate. Like, this is going to start with a whole topic because it's like, I remember my mate once said, 808s are overused. Yeah. I was like, well, do you think guitars are overused? Do you think singing's overused?
Yeah,
it's just a fucking instrument, mate.
It's
do you know what I mean? It's like
essentially a wave, bro.
Yeah. Do you think an FM synth's overused? Yeah. Fuck no. Serum went and did it better. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, So there's so many bands. There will always be bands, and they're using guitars and drums and singing.
It's not having.
I'm not bored of it yet, mate.
They're just not fucking aware. Of why it can't be.
Yeah,
it's just a sound to them. It's not like a.
Yeah, and people. I've read something really interesting. People said that they think music that has actual instruments, as in real acoustic instruments, has more longevity than synthesized music. I reckon that's bollocks.
Absolute bullshit.
I think that's bollocks.
Well,
I reckon it's as good as a Fender or a like a Gibson. You know what I mean?
Now it's probably going to be going the way around. Mate.
Yeah. I can understand the idea of the fact that maybe having a nice grand piano will kind of give a bit of like sort of natural energy that people obviously like, but I definitely don't think that synths take away from that. They just add to it, especially analog synths. Like, so people collect them.
If we didn't move forward, mate. It would get lost.
That's why sometimes I spend too long on Twitter. Yeah, I'm reading through people's opinions. And sometimes you think like, maybe I should start using more pianos. Like, fuck that, mate. Get me another synthesizer.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Probably fit one in here somewhere.
I'd love that. But
you get on the end keys as well, yeah.
And that's the same thing again. People, you hear these opinions. It's something that's very easy, like especially if it's someone that you look up to, and they'll tell you something, and like you run with it forever. Then, and then sometimes you think, "Hang a minute, that's bullshit." Yeah. When I was in college and they were telling me like how to mix drums and like. It's not how you. That's how you do it for maybe one record, not for like a drum and bass tune or. Yeah.
Yeah, it's completely different. Mixing for something that's going to be listened to on a fucking radio compared to a sound system, mate. Like, it's
got some of that rock.
Yeah, bro. Of course, I don't know where it is, but.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because that's another sick thing in New Zealand actually. Their sound system culture. Like I'd never played on, and when I did Cyanide, cheers, mate.
No worries, bro.
When I did Cyanide sound system with Sofa Sound, because they had it in. Have you been to Trinity?
I've never been to Trinity. No.
In Bristol.
I know
it's like a big church.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I have. Yes,
have you?
I have.
Yeah,
I was sort of sceptical there.
Did you?
Yeah,
Was that Metalhead?
No, that was it was Exit. It was Skeptical and Juve was supporting him.
Yeah, mate, that venue's sick. And
never been, man.
Yeah,
hopefully we can fucking go soon though.
Yeah, trust me.
Ear-piercingly loud.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Cyanide in there.
That's Bristol, though.
Oh, it's Bristol. And I'd never ever played anything like that, and I was a bit like, I didn't know it was going to be like latency. I didn't know what to expect. Like I've played on the worst systems, and not to say the best, but I've played on some like you know you managed to speak about Cyanide, weren't you? Like, do you know what I mean? Some systems that people would
like rated.
Yeah, and highly revered, and they're sick. They're that status for a reason because they're so nice to play on. They just
and you feel it. Yeah. Do you have? Well, I assume you have some nice monitors when you're DJing.
Yeah, and the thing is, if Sofa Sound is DLR, so he's him running the night. It's not.
Mate, he
seems like a promoter.
He's well interesting character. You know?
Oh, he's hilarious, mate. He's just such a sick guy. It was the way I met him as well was really cool.
Please tell us, mate.
Yeah, I'll run you through the story. So, as obviously mentioned, Dave D-Side, he sent me a mix that DLR had done, and he played my track Depth, which came out on Subedit and did quite well. Like Voltage was playing it, I had Bassman spitting over it, so I was gassed. All of that, and yeah, so DLR played this mix. And I was like, sweet as. So I hit him up, sent him some music, and then he ran a little event in Bristol in like a small pub. It was like selling like crafty beer, proper Bristol vibes. Yeah. And it was at 7 in the
Bristol
evening.
flavour.
It wasn't a rave. It was 7 in the evening. He had like all his t-shirts hung up, had all his artwork. Adam Menzies, the artist, was there. So I met him, and he was the nicest guy. And I think that was the first time he met DLR, funny enough, because he's from Bradford. And it was this community, like people there, like familiar faces. I'm sure, I think like Ill Truth would have been there. Just Bristol. If
Bristol
Khan as well. If Khan, he's the man behind a lot of the scenes of a lot of these drum and bass labels in Bristol. And not so much drum and bass, but anyway. So I ended up meeting him and said, "Oh, you played my tune in your mix." I went to him like, "You played that," and he was like, "Oh, sweet as." Yeah. Send me some more music, and from there, we got Amnesia.
Oh, bro, mate. That is probably my intro tune to you. Amnesia.
Oh, wicked mix. That's fat, bro. That was the introduction. I can't remember Amnesia. I just worked on it for a long while and got it to him, and yeah, he's.
Did you link him before you sent him a tune?
Yeah, so that's what I mean. Like when literally, I don't think I once David sent me that mix, I was just like, gas. I was like, DLR's a legend. He's playing my tracks.
Yeah. What track was that? Was it
I played that one, Depth.
Was it? How did he find it?
Well, he must have just bought it. That was the nice. I'd say the best thing is when, like, say Dex. I didn't send him that tune. He probably got it for a pro. It doesn't matter how he got it. He's got the tune on the stick, regardless. And it's cool when it's just completely organic. And that's why what I mean about releasing music. Why not release it? And if you think it's shit, DLR might be playing it in his mix. And then, you know what I mean? So if you don't put it out there,
when you're saying when you release, do you self-release on? What's your best platform to do that?
So the thing is, you have a distributor.
Yeah, I know exactly.
So I don't want to get hung up on that word. Just distributor, and they'll put it onto all the big sites. So I can self-release. I can do it through sub-edit. It's all how you want to brand it, how you want to do it.
Just as long as it's out there.
Yeah, exactly. So if I can trust myself on Instagram to push it in a certain way that I don't need to rely on anyone else, I can push it probably better than some of the certain labels don't understand how much work goes in. Like going back to
I would like to discuss that actually.
Yeah, with like doing the label
just your social media kind of presence, because I think it's really sick. And
big up, man. I mean, the thing is, you hear so many people like hating on like social media. It's a lot of like hate about it, and I just think it's like anything. If you think you spend too long on Facebook, just go off it, or you have a problem. Like I don't know, like I don't have a problem. Like it's what you make of it.
But mate, you're using it as a tool.
A tool, yeah. Like I love Instagram, mate. I love just sticking little videos on and just putting funny like I don't do it often, but some other day where I'm just thinking about random shit and I'll just put a little video and chat some stuff. It's just funny, isn't it? Like just people like. Yeah, I like to see it when people like what's his name? Turno.
Yeah.
Like Turno, he's hilarious, isn't it? When you meet him, he's exactly the same.
Yes, my G's.
Mike, yes. Oh, mate, he's the man. Yeah. When you meet him, he's exactly like that.
I've met him a few times.
Yeah. He's dressed down, looking dapper.
Literally, he's nice. Fresh fade, every time.
I mean, you see me, I've got the dead trim, and I'm chatting a load of breeds, and it's the same thing. I'm exactly the same as what you see on my Instagram. Do you know what I mean? But I could have got a nice trim for this podcast, but I thought I don't get a nice trim for a lot of things. You know what I mean? So,
I wanted the real Never, mate. So
that's what it is, mate. Yeah, man.
I met Turno fucking. I played a set back early days, like, and I went up to him out back, and I was pretty fucked, and I was like, mate, my time is now, and he was like, bruv, your time is now. In fact, he was probably the other way around. I went up to him, I was like, man, I'm just really motivated, I just really love it. He was like, your fucking time is now. And
mate,
he's just a expressive guy.
I'd say someone I met, DJ Die, he's my all-time, well, like, up there as one of the greatest. And when I met him, because I was in a room when I did this, it was a D&B barbecue, I did a set with Particle, which is right before Particle back to back. It was right before Particle really took off.
Yeah.
And I'd say it was a pleasure. Like he's
big at
very good at. He's a very serious. It's funny because I'm the opposite to him. Like we got on like he's a lovely guy, but he's very like. Do you know what I mean? Like you got my right. He's a business guy. Business techno. You know what I mean? Like, he's not tune, but like he is very Oh, it came on shuffle. That's sick. This is the tune we was talking about. But yeah, and I was drinking a bottle of gin. Like I was straight. I was absolutely steamed during the set. Yeah. But it was sick. Absolute vibes. And amongst that, there was Di was there, Randall, Kings of the Rollers, all like
the
everyone
boys.
That you'd really like.
All the boys.
All different sort of circles. That's it was in Birmingham. Sick, mate. And I met Di and I said to him, like, mate, I am fangirling.
Yeah.
And he took it so nicely. You know what I mean? He was like, he loved it.
Along,
and when you meet people, like, it's hard not to be like in awe. But when you meet someone, they're actually just on a level and they're real friendly and real. It's always nice, isn't it? Like, it's nice meeting your heroes. But they say not to, don't they? They say not to. It's always like
that's it. That's it. I mean, but yeah.
Yeah, this is that Dex tune, so. that was a tune that kind of got me in some
Fact.
real good doors in a way.
Yeah.
It was just when that.
Who was that released with?
That was on Sub Edit.
Oh,
I was
sick,
just
man.
and
It's good to know that was your like label. You're thinking you just doing it through you, and it's still got the respect it deserves. No,
it's a really nice feeling that actually, and like
it was about the music in a way, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, and it's exactly because Dave like believed in that music. My biggest regret, and no disrespect to Weapons of Choice that put out that Signals tune, because they're a sick label. I have mad respect.
Yeah.
The guy from, I think he's from Switzerland.
Yeah.
And he does a sick job. He's had Boo on his label.
Sick,
he's had some.
sick.
I think he had Saxon on there as well. But I put Signals on his label. But Dave who runs Sub Edit. He always said like he wanted it, and I do regret not. I always feel
Was it your like? I'll get it.
I put it onto Weapons of Choice. I put it onto this other label because the guy he really wanted it, and I'm glad I did. But at the same time, I want it. Yeah, because Dave had that passion. That's what I mean. Having someone there that has done it all. He's played loads of sets, and he's still backing what I'm doing. It's like it's really nice.
It's good. He respected your choice though too. So,
and because obviously Voltage is from Gloucester, I think. Anyway, and like him and Dave, like I think they've crossed paths in the past.
Cool.
And like there's Benji as well. Big up Benji. Like Gloucester's got a really like
It's
low key. Got a lot of like talent, and
decent,
Cheltenham as well.
Innit,
And like
innit.
you said, and
Monroe as well.
Monroe, Monroe's the man, and Curricula as well. If you've not heard of Curricula, he's not someone that's necessarily like, you know, Monroe's blowing up now, big time. But Curricula, he's an incredible producer.
Still,
And if you want to talk a little about the label as well, we've got some new stuff. Got like a compilation coming, so we're gonna have some Dry Tech. I forgot to mention Dry Tech from Leamington Spa. Went to uni with him, and he's. Whenever he sends me a tune, I'm like, I'm not good enough. Yeah. It makes me think,
really,
like, fuck this, man. Yeah, it makes me want to just go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it makes me want to go back to the drawing board and make something better. But he's one of them people that, always consistently good. So yeah, we've got actually not much artwork to show you, but yeah, some new stuff in the works for Sub Edit. I tell you, this just randomly this remix, Operate remix. Visages.
Do you have a song? Do you have one song that you think this is the one that got me into it?
I know exactly what song that is.
Thank God for that.
This tune and always will be my favourite. I'm really bad for saying like, oh, that's my favourite. I'm really like, I love everything. So I'm like, that's my favourite drum bass tune. There's probably two, and this is the back to DJ Die Special Treat. Mate, this is probably as old as I am. 1997.
Ooh, shit.
So I was 2 years
Yeah.
old when this came out.
Maybe you heard it on the radio or something. Shit, mate. Roots.
Thank you again for not applauding. You dig it?
It's drum and bass through and through. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Drums and
Yeah,
bass.
yeah, yeah.
Some nice sounds. Like
Mixed together.
they're done so well.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of our artists tonight. We have a special treat in store for you. A special treat in store for you. A special treat in store for you. A special treat in store for you.
I'm gonna load myself with USB.
It's going to charge his USB.
Oi, mate, every time, man. I want to hear it again every time. I need a little Spotify wheel-up button, man. Have it again, have it again.
Just like bubbly in it, like bubbly in a way.
I think the other tune I'd probably have to
We
mention,
have a special treat in store for you.
you
A
asked me
special
my
treat in store
favourite,
for you. A
would
special
be,
treat in store for you.
this is one that, like I say, when I was first did the artwork for Dave, he sent me a bag of tunes. They're all like released. It wasn't like sending any dubs. You know, everyone's calling everyone out nowadays.
Yeah.
It's only dodgy. It's all perfectly legit, apart from like
Half of them.
whatever. Let's not talk about tunes. But what's the tune? Enei,
Oh, shit.
DRS, Count to 10. You know this one?
I do, yeah, I do indeed.
As a vocal drum and bass tune goes, there's no better, I don't think.
Blood pressure rising, teeth start grinding, attempting to counter 10, can't keep timing, boat race starts to screw, now no hiding, sweat running down my brow, almost blinding, part of me was reasoning, now can't find him, can't control body now, walls I'm climbing, all I know's I'm gonna blow, don't wanna hear facts, best just get out my face, I'm about to react.
That's like the benchmark for when I'm testing a tune or something. That to me is like the benchmark.
What, like, do you like compare it
Yeah,
to... Yeah.
it's a fucking perfectly produced tune in my eyes.
Yeah.
The lyrics, like DRS is sick, but that's old. This is what,
Is it?
2012.
I reckon Manchester have
E-
the best
Eno?
MCs, I reckon. in this
But,
bit.
yeah,
Drum and
I
bass
hear
MCs.
that.
'Cause you got like all the levels crew, haven't you? You got like T-Man.
They've got a different vibe than Manchester. It's not. I don't think it's just the MCs. The whole scene.
Yeah,
Like, think about Chimpo.
Yeah,
And people are like.
man,
I mean,
it-
Slater's Brummy, but he's in Manny and Manchester's got this like.
It's like...
Beautiful,
It's like its own bubble to it. Obviously, like block to block as well.
Yeah,
like,
man.
fucking-
Jack Bannon's. I met him in a rave. He's the man. Jack
Yeah.
Bannon's the man. Kaz is
Yeah,
sick. Big
yeah,
up Kaz
yeah,
all
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
day.
innit?
One of the best DJs. Honestly, she's fucking sick.
Yeah.
And
she plays so many fucking up and coming tunes as well.
mate,
like,
that's
with
how I
it,
felt. She played a depth and she
Yeah.
smashed it out. And Jack Bannon's there going, pull
Stop
it up,
it.
pull it up, mate.
This is
And do you know
our
what I mean?
racing, yeah,
so like
yeah.
seeing that, like just that again, that was just released on my label. Kaz plays it,
Yeah.
and Kaz probably at the time was an up and comer. Now she's fucking doing
Sending
tours
it
of
17k.
yeah, she's sick,
Insta,
mate. Kaz is absolutely sick. And mate, that whole block to block thing's sick.
It's
you know,
cool,
there was that
isn't
all the the drama about the white t-shirt
the
thing.
white, yeah.
Yeah.
But then there was a little.
Jack Banner's the man though, mate. I think
I really felt sorry for Banner.
Yeah, he made
with
the
that
same.
white t-shirt thing because the girls were like, I mean, they wanted to do it. It wasn't like.
It's all matters, mate. In my eye. But
yeah.
okay.
And then a couple of weeks later, during lockdown, you see like Indica and I forgot
Medusa,
the other one.
mate.
Medusa,
Yeah.
in bikinis, and it's just like, well, they obviously.
They're just
wouldn't
doing
have-
Yeah, it's fine.
rolling out,
Fine.
living the tune.
Yeah.
Just let me do
If you want, if you want to wear, absolutely sick. I rate it. If someone's gonna be there, there's obviously gonna be some weird guys in the comments.
Yeah.
You know, but they know that. They know what their sound.
Yeah.
But they're doing them. And they shutting it down.
Fat tunes. They're
Maximum
sending
respect
it, yeah.
to Medusa and Indica, Jazzy Lioness, all them.
Yeah.
I think Banner, mate, he's brought them. Like, I tell you what, I don't like saying it because I hate the term female DJ. Because I tell you what, I don't think. Well, I'm saying something
unless you would like.
but I think now it's a change has happened. There's been the change almost. I don't think now we need to say female DJ. There was a point where everyone was on Twitter going, "Oh, who's your favourite female DJ?"
No,
Now it's a question of. I think Kaz is fucking sick, and she's
sending it, mate.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I reckon Jack Banner's done a huge amount for that. He had that sort of team, he really brought them through.
Yeah.
And that's undeniable. And yeah, he admitted that it was a silly idea. It's a bit silly, but
it's a bit silly.
if you did it as mates, no one there would have thought everyone would be having a great time. If they want to get a wet t-shirt contest, it's like a bunch of mates, vibes. The second you put it on the internet and someone doesn't like it, then you'll get thrown down. You'll get thrown on the bus for it. But as long as everyone's loving it, fucking internet.
You're literally picking out a problem. You're seeing the problem. Whereas if you don't fucking view it for the problem, you view it for what the genuine content is meant to be, the music, the mixing, the fucking fun, having fun with tunes.
And on that note, Jack Banner was like, yeah, fair play.
Yeah.
Probably not the best idea, which I think everyone would agree wasn't the best idea. Yeah. But yeah, it's not. I always have this thing. It's not like a stupid saying. Like, it's not a stupid idea until it's a stupid idea until it works. If you do something that you think that's stupid, then it works, then it's not stupid, it's smart.
It's all part of that cancel culture now.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, man. Yeah, people are so quick. You do something a little bit wrong and people will call you out. And
I personally, before I've directed the conversation, mate, what's your view on fucking cancel culture? Because
I think it's so hard to say on one thing, because like sometimes people probably should. You know what I mean? If you're a massive nonce, then fucking I don't want to hear about it.
I ain't buying your tunes, bro.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy your tunes. And then you get people who say, you should split the art and the artist. Personally, I think again it's a preference.
Yeah.
And there's some things that I did something interesting. I wasn't involved with, but I worked with Radar Radio. Talk about cancel culture, but they fucking rightly so, because you hear about all Radar, like they were doing.
Tell me.
So Radar Radio were doing sick stuff in London. Yeah. They were like coming up like Rinse sort of vibe, really bringing up grime. Grime really, I think, benefited massively from Radar. I think that's undoubtedly true. But the problem was, the guy that run it, his dad owns Sports Direct, and if you know anything about him, he's a
he doesn't.
Yeah,
doesn't pay.
He's a bit. So basically, I don't want to go into all that, but it was bad news in a way. It was it ended up having been a really hostile work environment. Yeah. So people like women were getting women of colour, anyone that could be abused got fucking abused, and people that were supporting my music, I then found out. There was one name in particular I won't mention, but he then got called out for being really and I was like, I had a fucking track on his compilation. You instantly think like, hang on a minute. And
you don't want to be associated.
I don't want to be associated with that. Yeah. But then, should he get cancelled completely? It's up to you. I don't know. It's up to. I personally wouldn't. Then have I cancelled him? Yeah. I think sometimes it has its place. The internet is like a court, innit? It's a courtroom, and if you put something out there, someone might not agree with my opinion on this podcast. They might end up kicking off or whatever. But yeah, man, it just opens up the doors for it more. So I don't think you can really say if it's right or wrong.
Cool.
But a lot of people get, there's loads of examples of people that have just been thrown under the bus for small things.
And had that literally like everything stripped away. Just
people lost careers,
mistake,
mate.
man.
Yeah.
But no, 100%. there's two sides to it, and every person makes the decision to choose what they believe is more important, and you have to like see both sides of the story, and you have to be open-minded about it. And
it's just being smart, I think, mate. Like some people like to get caught up in the drama. I love to see it from both sides. I love to see why people are pissed off about something, and I'll be like, yeah, fair enough. But then hearing, like, for example, like, going back to that Jack Banner thing, the topless thing, he was just trying to do a good. Just do something good on it, make some money, and that's why I think, you decide what needs to be cancelled, and don't necessarily go for what Twitter and Facebook groups are saying. Oh, fuck them Facebook groups, man. Fuck all that shit. Fuck, just listen to what your people tell you to do, innit? Don't listen to fucking Stacey on Facebook, man. Who gives a fuck about
Trust me.
You know what I mean,
like Karen's fucking
There's
daughter.
always someone piping up opinion. It's like, who are you to tell me?
Yeah.
Unless you're fucking DJ Di or Eli, DRS, I'm not fucking listening.
You
know what I mean? You can't.
If everyone had that mindset though, to just not be affected by it and not just let it think, like if a lot of people had your mindset to that, there wouldn't be such a boom because of it, and such a.
I think I came in at a perfect age because, like, for example, Dave's a bit older than me. He hates social media. He's not about it. He hasn't got Facebook. Yeah. He hates the word. I've seen it from before internet and after internet. I was born, like, me and my sister always say, we were born at the cusp of seeing both sides of it. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
And I know what life was like before. I know what life is like now. Yeah. Some kids don't know any different. You see kids on iPads. They have nothing else.
Before their age. Well, when they're age fucking 8, mate, they've got an iPod or not a phone probably now these days, isn't it? Phone.
Even when I wasn't allowed to. My mum never let me have. It was always a joke because I wasn't allowed to play like GTA. I had to run around to my mate Stubbsy's house to play GTA because my mum wouldn't let me have 18 rated games. I wasn't allowed 16 rated games until I was 16. Yeah. She was quite strict on that.
She on it.
But bless her soul, I'm glad she was because it made me like really. I wasn't stuck in game consoles as a kid. I was running outside, and then now I'm sat making tunes all day. So I've done my time outside.
It works both ways, though, isn't it? You're looking at a similar screen. Yeah. However, you're not just playing games. You're fucking.
I'm using it. And making something of it. Like, yeah, man. But and I've seen both sides of it. So it's like I understand people don't like social media, and people sometimes rely on it. People get a false sense of ego. And like I say, it's very easy just to put your opinion out there, but you have to appreciate that someone might not agree with you. Yeah. Mate, I don't give a fuck in the sense that, like, I don't care if you disagree with me. I'll happily listen to what you got to say.
Yeah.
But, man,
so going on that social media thing, like, what would you recommend? And this is just a recommendation. It's your opinion. What would you? How would you recommend people to look at social media? How do you reckon an up and coming DJ would look at to tackle social media?
Like as you said about how I use it as a tool. That's exactly how I see it. When I go on Instagram, to me is like not Ableton, but like it's like you know what I mean? It's a tool that I use for my production. Yeah. And there's loads of nice things that come with it, mate. Like I say, when I hit up Degs and he's played my tune, and you have that like organic, instant. It's very quick and.
Another prospect is that I'll message you on Gram.
Yeah, exactly. Hit up Instagram. Do you want to do a podcast?
Yeah.
Fucking yes, mate. I'd love to. Yeah. Absolute pleasure to do that. And that's what I mean. And people go, nowadays, like, you know, 'cause like I say, I sell wine on the phone as a living. Yeah. So people, how quick can I get my wine? People are very like needy, and some of the fucking, you know, really do need that shit or whatever. But like someone says to me once, like, in this day and age, we live in like gratification, instant gratification. Like Amazon delivers to your door, like straight to. I can get if I want some more acoustic panel, it'll be here tomorrow.
Rules of subconscious instant gratification, man.
Yeah. But it's like, well, use it then. So don't sound like everyone's like, oh, God, fucking sweet as mate. We'll sort of podcast and we do it a couple of weeks later. So as much as you can think badly on social media, it's a sick tool. So just use it like that. If you don't want to use it, I know enough people that like don't need it and don't use it.
Do you think you need it to progress as an
artist? Definitely not.
Okay.
Definitely not. No way. But I mean, I don't think I'd be where I am without it. Mm-hmm. Some people like Dave always jokes to me saying like, oh, do you think fucking MCGQ was in the day like on his iPhone? Like, do you know what I mean? Back in the day, in '95 when they're at the raves, they're not on their phone. Yeah. Like doing an Instagram video saying, "Oh, about to like do this set." That's what I mean about it. Just use it as what it is, and don't think any more of it. Don't think you've got like a big like it's all like clout, innit? People get
Yeah.
clout chasing, caught up in that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, fuck it, man. Like, I've got a couple of followers, but then it's how many people are actually listening and liking it. I don't care about all the numbers. I care about people that say that's
engaging and that.
Maybe my mate that doesn't like drum and bass, like, I like that, that's a sick tune. Or I don't like that, you need to do this differently. I don't know, mate, it's just, care about the people that really matter, but use all that stuff to your benefit, because why wouldn't you? It's like anything, you know what I mean?
100% big man, 100%. And you mentioned a second ago that you work selling wine.
Yeah.
How do you juggle the day job and the music? What, and to ask a double question, where do you see yourself in the next couple of years? What's the goal? What's the goal?
I hear that, man. So with my job, so I work for a company called Leif Waits. We sell wine. It's sick. I love the job.
Cool.
Really love the job. But they've given me a lot of flexibility in the sense that I only work 3 days a week.
Cool.
I work in that corner of the room.
Yeah.
And then I can switch off completely, and I've got it quite lucky.
And is that a 9 to 5 shift, or is it? Or?
It varies, mate. Like, I work every Saturday, so when everyone's out on Friday nights, I probably won't be in the pub. But it works in my favour because I tell you, it's a good thing is to get out of the habit of going out every weekend.
Yeah.
Because that's the biggest killer of like motivation, I think, is like relying on the weekend. And there's big like, and there's a like speaker guy called Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if you lads have heard of it.
I haven't.
You see him, you might even recognise him, but he always says like, if you live for the weekend, it's a problem because you need to live for the day. Like Monday, I'm having a drink of rum because you lads have come from. Do you know what I mean? It's a little
Happy
bit of a
Monday,
vibe, yeah. But at the same time, we're working, and I'll be working on Saturday. And then might have a couple of drinks, go out to the pub on Saturday, Sunday, back in the studio, making some music, and just getting out of the habit of. Yeah, you have to work, and but then don't treat it like a job. Just, man, you have to fucking put the hours. You have to put the graft in. Anyone will tell you that, and I'm a victim of not putting enough work in myself. You notice it yourself, like you have to graft. Yeah, there's no two ways about it. You can be. I'd say the best thing to know, like, sort of mentally, like something like a mantra for me is, it's not how talented you are, it's how hard you work. You could be averagely talented, but if you work harder than anyone else, like I say, you can go on Splice, you can get some samples. You don't have to be a fucking genius, but you have to have that sort of finesse. You have to have that style, and you have to have that knowledge and wisdom, I guess. You know what I mean?
Just that drive and that passion, man.
So if you once a month make a sick tune and then don't do anything else for the rest of the week, what have you got? Yeah. You don't put the work in to get it to everyone listening. What's the point? You're better off making the half.
Sick, man.
Yeah, put the work in it. That's what it is.
Super interesting to hear, mate. And like, if going off your day job, obviously that fuels the need to pay. That's your, it pays the bills, it pays the rent.
Yeah, man. You're so like. I could be really nice. Like my missus works the NHS. She's night shift. She
Big
gets,
up, man.
Yeah,
Big
mate.
respect.
I mean, maximum respect. And she works really hard. And she's always said to me, like, she could help support me if I wanted to do music full time. I said, there's no point. I might as well have this cushy job in the corner of my studio selling wine. And when I go and I work hard, and then I've got this time to then do the music. So you have to be realistic and never think that. When you're younger, it's very easy to think, music, that's all I'm going to do forever. Yeah. It sounds just to do it on the side. Yeah. I love it. It's my life.
Do you feel like that might help you be more creatively fucking versatile? Like,
definitely. I've had times
it doesn't pay the bills. It's a fully creative, no other reason for doing it. You know?
Well, like I've had massive times off in my life where I haven't worked or done anything creative like that. No, sorry, not done anything like uni, but I've been making music, and you get bored, mate. If you're sat at home every day trying to just pursue music, you get in your head. So you're better off just getting a little job, just being realistic. Like, everyone does it, mate. Even like the big bands that you see, all these pop stars, mate, they're probably working on a side job.
Else,
yeah, because you want to. It's all well and good, like making big tunes, but you want to have some nice shit to drink on the weekend, nice food to eat in the fridge.
Nice
like,
patter.
I'm paying for this from the music. But every now and then, get a little set.
So in that sense, would you keep doing that forever? Do you think?
Yeah, like right now, like I've got the perfect balance, and it is finding the balance, and and not to worry if you're not quite there, because life just moves. Like there might be a time when I might not be doing that, or whatever. I might be back in the office doing more hours and no have enough time for music. It just comes in waves, and you have to just take try and do the best output that you can in that time. If you're working 9 to 5 Monday, Friday, just fucking you've got to do it.
Yeah, you still find the time.
Yeah,
somehow.
do the best you can.
Yeah.
If you maybe you're not playing loads of sets every week, but who cares as long as you're still doing the music. That's all comes back to really.
Feel that, bro.
But yeah, in like 10 years, man, I reckon I'll be happy if I'm still doing what I'm doing now. That's answer to it. Because I'm
still making some belters.
I've done the whole. I've been through when I was 18. I was thinking like, right, music. I'm gonna do that, and now I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm making tunes, and got a job as well, man. It's blessed.
I'm glad to hear that, man. It seems like you've landed in a good position. You've got a pad that you're really pleased with. You've got a sick little fucking setup. You've got a missus that fucking
does the proper job, mate.
You offered to to support you. And
man.
And
yeah, it is nice, mate.
But cooked up some banging chicken wings, so it's a full circle. That I think you've covered most of it. The only thing that's left, I think, is a plug, mate. You just need a plug.
Right.
Plug some. What's going on with you at the moment? What have you got that you want to tell
them about?
Oh, massive.
It's at the exit. I've got to look where the camera's here.
Yeah.
The other camera's gone, so we just got that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, mate. Sub-Edit Records all day, every day. Sofa Sound Bristol, same thing. Invicta, like I said earlier, they're definitely a label to look out for. I think the way they're doing things is really sick, so I'm going to be working with them. Weapons of Choice, big up all day. Mate, there's so much good stuff going on, so everyone's got their own thing. Pick and mix. There's too many to call out.
Yeah.
There's too many to shout. But
that's good to know, man. Basically, the scene is just popping, and don't believe anything you hear about it.
Don't listen to shit on the internet, mate, and just enjoy the fucking music, man. That's how we do it.
Boom.
Maximum respect,
big man. Safe.
Nice one.
I'm still trying to write the story as I see it. The trouble is when I say it, they don't believe it. They reckon I only say it, but I don't mean it. I'm trying to tell them I only say it if I can feel it. Cause money's tight, maybe tighter than it was before. I'm helping out on a mortgage I really can't afford. Family breaking north, I cover the trips abroad. Shaking, I'm making another loss on another tour. But what I done it for? To see my mother in the sun abroad. I run in the trouble that was coming for. My little brother got the hunger for. All the exact same pain that makes the rain in my stomach pour. So let me paint it broader. This for any dude who's got a daughter. Living off lines like your papa taught her. Ain't got no time to be coming for you. Go with the flow with this, running water. Go with the flow with this. Go with the flow with this. Go with the flow with this.